I can't believe. Okay, if it's Leafs specific,
Doesn't have to be.
I
Doesn't
can't.
have to be.
Okay, it doesn't have. I can't believe the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, look at all the guys that are hurt there. So I guess it kind of does make sense, but I didn't expect them to be 0-4. Didn't expect Nashville to be 0-4. Just with all the buzz around those guys. Toronto centric. I kind of expected Joseph Wall to be available. Like you had all summer to be ready, and not ready clearly. So just yeah, I think there's a few things that have kind of caught us by surprise, but and I guess Edmonton just kind of getting off to a slow start. Although, like, think about the emotional high, or how draining that would have been going all the way to the finals and losing in Game 7. How do you find that energy in the early going of the season? But it's been interesting, and I don't know. There's a lot of storylines. Tampa Bay is pretty good.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Like,
Yeah.
it was funny. I was talking to someone in Vancouver, and they were talking about the game because the Canucks just played them. And they were talking about Vasilevsky, and I'm like, yeah, welcome to the Atlantic Division, where you have to play Vasilevsky and Bobrovsky and Swayman, and who am I missing?
And Allmark, now who has his own team.
Welcome to the Atlantic, my friend. You do it twice a year. So, yeah, it's interesting.
The Joseph Wall thing is very interesting because things are going so well in Toronto. We're winning, and there's no real problems. Imagine if Treliving didn't go out and get Stolars, and
I prefer not to.
and it was a dire situation where you have like Matt Murray and Hildeby who have to hold the net down while we wait for Joseph Wall to become healthy.
How about this? Like, okay, he picked the right goalie too.
Yes.
Like, what if he signed? It's early, but what if it was the Lankinen or Kakinen, or it's like they picked the right guy with, exactly. They picked the right guy with Stolar. So I think that's a credit to them. And like his numbers have been really good. The only thing that would have maybe spooked you off is that, prior to, let's call it the last couple of years, he had been hurt. 27 games is the most that he played. And you're theoretically putting him in a situation where he's got to play 30 to 35 plus, even if Joseph Wall is healthy, right? So that's the only thing that maybe would have spooked you, but they've picked the right guy. So credit to them for identifying him.
Yeah, Brossoit got injured at the end of August, was it? Like, imagine...
Kakinen's hurt too. Colorado claimed him on waivers from Winnipeg because Georgiev has like the worst goal save above expected in the history of the game.
Wow.
And they wanted the Kakinen, and he's hurt. He's on the IR like everyone else. So you're right, Jesse. Like there's guys already getting hurt that were supposed to be goaltending answers for other teams.
They're one signing away from this being a disaster start in Toronto.
Yeah, well, they're not. What do you mean?
But it's not. But it's not.
What do you? That's a very me thing to say.
It's not, though.
So, I know we want to stay current here, but when you were talking about Vasilevsky, it's like people forgot how good he is. And welcome to the Atlantic. Was there ever just a miracle goalie performance that either happened for a team that you were playing for or against the team you were playing for, where just for those 60 minutes that goalie decided, I am God?
Oh my God. Yeah, there is one. There's a couple in the minors that stick out. I got to get this guy's name. He played for the Providence Bruins, and he played in the NHL a little bit. And this would have been 2017, 2018. We played them in the first round of the playoffs. I was out after game 1. Like I had a high ankle sprain. The guy's name was Zane McIntyre. That was the goalie's name. It was the first round in the AHL is like a game. It's best of 5, right? And so it's game 5. We were Wilkes-Barre Scranton, like wire to wire, best team on that side. We get Providence, and this guy in the last game put together a performance that like just. I don't know if he'll ever have that kind of performance again, or if he ever had that kind of performance again. Like it was an absurd amount of shots in game 5, and it's just like. It was probably just like an out-of-body experience for him.
Do you have Zane McIntyre's numbers there?
I will look it up. I don't even know. Hold on. Zane
McIntyre DB.
I'm looking right now in the playoffs. Like you got to find the playoff game log, and
NHL or A.
No, this would be AHL.
Okay,
so AHL playoffs. So like 2018 Calder Cup playoffs.
Pulling them up.
I just want to know if he did anything in his career.
Okay, regular season plus postseason.
Or 2017 Calder Cup playoffs. I know I'm chopping it up right now. But
Providence Bruins.
it was wild.
Okay, well he had He had a 914 in the regular season.
50 saves on 51 shots in Game 5. There,
wow.
It is a 9.
You found it. Damn.
Yeah, it was April 30th, 2017. It was 50 saves on 51 shots on the road and a 980 save percentage in a decisive Game 5. Like, what do you do?
What do you do?
Game of his life.
He has played 8 total games, and they came after that. They came the season after that. He's currently in the Wylde system, but an 858 save percentage at the NHL level, 397, 0-4-1. So he's never got a win. Yeah, has he not yet got a win?
I don't get it.
Isn't that nuts?
I don't get it, man.
On that night, that guy was like
he was God.
In a different stratosphere. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That's cool. I like that.
Colorado bound?
Maybe.
Could be.
Now, Frankie, I brought up the bad side of the Pittsburgh Penguins, which is the goaltending, Tristan Jarry and all that. So we've kind of talked about that on the show. I want to talk about the good side, which is Gino passing. You got the 500 goals, you got the 1,300 points, and
Crosby
he is
1,600.
Oh yeah, Crosby got 1,600. But I want to talk about Gino because Gino's leading the league in points along with their Temi Panarin right now. And you played with Gino. What's the guy like to play with?
It's a great question because I was not like exactly established there in Pittsburgh. Like I would get called up, I would hang around for a couple weeks, maybe play a game, maybe not, go back to Wilkes-Barre, come back. So like, I don't even think he really knew my name or anything like that. We were just kind of like teammates in law at that point.
I like that.
But
Good to see you again, Franklin.
Nah, I don't even think it was that. It was, but like, so good with his stick. Like this is what always freaked me out in practice. Like you kind of think you have him and it almost looks casual and it's like bang, bang, and he got through you. Or like he made this slick little pass. Like he was so good at like making it seem like maybe he had let his guard down a little bit or it looked casual. And then it just, in a second, it was like, whoa, I did not see that coming. Like very, very elusive, very slippery that way. He's an interesting guy because like he's interesting in the room. Like he's upbeat. Like he's always kind of wanting to be in whatever joke is being said or whatever. And there's obviously, at the card table, he would hang around with some of those guys and he would always be one of the loudest guys there. But yeah, like I kind of think, it's funny now watching him do what he's doing. Remember when they did the top 100 players? Correct me if I'm wrong. He's not in that. He was not in the top 100 players. Yeah. And I think he made the joke. He's like, yeah, it was actually 101. And here he is at age like, what is he, 37 now? And he's turning back the clock. He looks good. Like he looks like he's got a half step more than he had last year, which is great news for the Penguins because they need him.
He played a full 82 last year, had 67 points. He's played 5 this year. He has 11. That's a big jump.
I was trying to look it up. He has 500 goals. Did you assist on any of them?
No, I don't think I got an assist with the Penguins. Maybe in practice, but even then, I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's funny though. It's funny. Like he could drive. I think he's so good, right? Mm-hmm. But I think he could drive that coach crazy at times. Like Sully is so regimented and detail oriented and Malkin's free flowing, right? Like I said, like can look casual at times and then really turns it on. And so I think I would imagine there have been a few gray hairs on Sully's head over the years, but you have to take the good with the bad. Like the guy, you guys won 2 Stanley Cups together. And let me ask you this, and this would be like, you'd have to go down memory lane here. Number 1 center, number 2 center, two-headed monster. Where would Crosby and Malkin rank on that all-time in the NHL as far as the best 1-2 punch two-headed monster?
Well, you have Messier, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would think because it was Ted Lindsay a center or was he a winger? Because I think
you're going back that far, eh?
Well, this is the thing. Well, and then you got to go back to like the 70s Canadians.
Yes.
Right? Like there's
Islanders,
the Islanders.
Early 80s Islanders, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But I think there's like, if you're a hockey historian, that's a very interesting argument. And it's going to be subjective, different eras and all that stuff. But like, as far as the modern era goes, have we ever seen a better two-headed monster than that? Like
McDavid,
a 1-2 punch?
Draisaitl.
McDavid, Draisaitl.
Yeah.
And that hasn't played out.
They got
there
to
hasn't been
win.
as much time.
They got to win.
They gotta
you know?
They haven't
You
won,
got 3
right?
cups with Crosby and Malkin. It's not really comparable.
They also Crosby Malkin have been 1 and 2 more often, or for a bigger percentage of their career than McDavid, Draisaitl, because they played together a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So oh boy, they're definitely top 10, likely top 5, possibly.
Yeah, likely
top 3.
top 5. It would have
Yeah.
to be top 5.
I would think
Yeah,
so.
they're stupid good.
And
3
Frankie,
cups together, all those individual awards, and Sid's still doing it, Gino's still doing it. I know they're not team's not a contender, but I mean, so far the early returns on Gino this year looks really good.
Yeah, not a contender. Don't tell them that though.
The NHL did release a list of every player who assisted on Evgeny Malkin's 500 career goals. It's 113 players, and I can confirm you are not.
Yeah.
So